something abnormal. The requirement is to be recorded. Okay. So I'm not going to pass you the notes. Okay, so that's the first message. So which means don't expect from me that I will send you the slides. So for the meantime, while listening, you got to write down important points. I'm going to tell you which part is important. Okay, before I talk about psychopathology, okay, the topic is about psychopathology. So this is the term that we use to indicate the abnormality in psychology or in psychiatry. But before I talk about that, I would like to tell you something very interesting in the sense that for you to understand about psychiatric disorders. And if let's say you can have a look at my this. Okay, so if let's say you can have a look at my hand, this is what we call rule of 5. Okay, the psychiatric disorder, let me simplify you. There are 5 categories or 5 type of disorders, 5 categories. So this is what I'm saying, the rule of 5. Rule of 5 means psychiatric disorder in a simplified way, we divide it into 5 categories. Okay. What figure is this? Some. And then what about this?
Little finger.
So this indicate the age of the patients. Very good. So this is for elderly, this is for children. So psychiatric disorder, you can classify them elderly disorders and children. Example, elderly. Anyone?
Dementia.
Very good. Dementia and delirium. Now we are using the SM5. We call it major neuropsychiatric disorder. Okay, whatever it is a dementia related to the forgetfulness, and delirium. Delirium is very much related to the orientation, which means patient confused due to medical condition. And here the last part is the children. Children we are referring to. Example.
Autistic.
Very good. Autism, kita panggil ASD yang now yes, very good. Okay. Now we are using certain terms in the SM5. We call it ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Yeah. So that's it. It's okay if let's say you want to mention autism. I still accept it, but the proper term is autism spectrum disorder. Okay. Now number 2, common one is hyperactive, ADHD. Yeah, very good. ADHD. And other psychiatric disorders include learning disorder, global intellectual disability, and so on. That's what we call IQ lah, the IQ. Okay, so now left with 3 categories. These 3 categories is commonly happen among adult. To be more specific, these 3 are more common among young adult. Okay, so what are they? Okay, let me show you these slides. Now I'm sharing my slides. Okay, boleh nampak? Can you see my screen?
Yes. And
Okay, so this is what I was referring to. So you just forget about the last one we have mentioned. Okay, now left with but I want to start off with this first, and anxiety disorder, followed by mood, Why? Because if let's say you look at the percentage here, percentage is very important. Which one is more common? Which one is a commonly happen in our community? So let's say you look here, anxiety contribute around, in terms of prevalence, anxiety has 50% of happen in our populations. Yeah. So and then depression come the depression. I would say rather could be like this. Both are the same. 15-15. Okay, under mood we have bipolar and then psychosis. Okay, psychosis. So psychosis, when we say psychosis, under category of psychosis, these are the two main symptoms. Yeah. So when we say is there any psychotic features? So we'll be referring to either hallucination or delusions. Yeah. Okay. So if let's say you look at the percentage is not much. Yeah. So however, in our population, in our community, when someone mentioned about psychiatry, automatically people will be referring to psychosis or schizophrenia, the worst condition in psychiatry. But bear in mind, when we talk about psychiatry, it is more than that, which means people always associate psychiatry with stigma. They worry they are be labeled as mad, gila. But in reality, it is not. But if let's say you ask me, I would say that our community is now gradually moving away from this odd idea, from this stigma. They are more open now. They are more open to come forward, but still, I would say the hindrance, the stigma is still there. It's very much thick, very much thick. Okay, so it's our effort to educate the public. And how to handle the stigma is no other than education. Keep on educating the public. So, okay, the things that I want to tell you here, okay, these are the core symptoms for each disorder. For example, palpitation, tremor, short of breath, all this will be referring to anxiety, whereas sadness, low mood, we are referring to depression. Okay, psychosis, okay, these are the symptoms. So one thing that I want to tell you, psychosis will never have, these psychotic features will never, okay, remember my words, never happen in anxiety. Okay, understand? It never happen. Once it is there, then it is no longer anxiety. It should be something else. Yeah? But this psychosis commonly happen, of course, among the under this category, like, for example, like schizophrenia and drug abuse. Yeah? But it can happen commonly in bipolar. Okay, and it can also happen in depression. Something weird. Tapi the condition in depression, it has to be when someone very depressed, eventually the person will develop psychosis. Do you understand? Okay, in very bad condition, the person will eventually, the depressed person will eventually develop psychosis. Okay, do you understand? Okay, so which means depression per se will not have psychosis. Okay, so if let's say you look at the evolution, depression, if when someone who's really depressed, not getting the treatment, eventually become more depressed, then they develop psychosis. So this is what we call depression, major depressive disorder with psychotic features. So when we in this condition, we know automatically this is very bad condition in depression. Yeah. Okay, can psychosis happen in autism? Yes, can, but less likely. Still can, but definitely it may happen in this category as well. So this psychosis may cross over to other domain except anxiety. Okay, okay, that's all I want to share with you. Okay, now let me show you the slides about this topic. Okay, you can stop me at any time. Let's say you have any question. Verify. Okay, I will be talking about. Okay, I think I have to skip this. This is what we call the biopsychosocial and spiritual. Okay, this is the old model, biopsychosocial model, but now we add on with one more component. This is Western model, but for Islamic model, so we have biopsychosocial and spiritual. You just remember this. Remember this model. In what condition, in what situation, in terms of number one, the etiology of the illness, and which means psychiatric disorder is contributed by these four components. How then it come to the treatment, we need to focus these four components also, and this is what we call the comprehensive approach. So it's not enough in terms of treatment. Just now I give you an example. It's not enough to give medication only on the biological aspect and then discharge patient. No, that's not enough. We have to look at the psychological. How much this impact to the patient. I think this model also you can apply for other disciplines also. If let's say you want to be a good doctor, please use this model. We don't want like a surgeon having a diabetic. The diabetic abscess got amputate the patient, send back, without looking at the psychological aspect of the patient, without looking at the social aspect, how's the patient going to survive, how's the patient going to support the family and so on, especially for those sole breadwinner and so on. So we put, and then what about the Islamic spiritual aspect? So we got to apply this knowledge in your practice. Okay, why I mention this is because it's already happened in my slide, so I just mentioned it. Okay, so here we'll be talking about for this slot, mainly the speech, perceptual, and thoughts. So that this is my task for today. Okay, first of all, we'll be talking about. Okay. Since this slides appear, okay, in psychiatry, I don't know what any is there any lecturer mention about the 3 Ps so far?
No.
No, okay. In understanding the development of psychiatric disorder, okay, we are looking at these 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps? Okay, the first one is for example, I give an example. Why this person is having depression right now? Okay, so the 3 Ps. Now, P number 1 is a predisposing. Predisposing means pre-existing risk factor that contribute to the illness. Okay, what are the example? I think you'll be more. Can you switch off your audio, please? Okay, if let's say you're talking about, okay, to make you more easy to understand, genetic play important role. So once the person having family history of mental illness related to the illness, it doesn't mean, for example, I'll give you that now. He has mother having anxiety, but now he is having schizophrenia. So that then, although there is a psychiatric illness, we are not saying that this illness is predisposing because they are totally different spectrum. You understand? Anxiety and psychosis are two different things. So they are not related, although it's present in the family. So number 1 is genetic. Number 2 is personality. Okay, we can also say obstetric complications, especially those with difficult delivery and causing some kind of brain insult. So that predispose person to develop psychiatric disorder later on. Later on. So it's not happen. Okay, never mind. Okay, here next will be precipitate. Okay, precipitate, which means what? Trigger now. Why the question here, why is happen now? So this part would answer. Why is happen now? Okay, for example, like he has been, okay, the person has lost the loved one, for example, the husband, for example. So the one that she very much depend on. So that precipitate why the person is having depression now. So this is, we are referring to the current event. And next, what is perpetuate? What maintain the illness? This is happen later on. Once patient had developed, for example, like depression, why she's still having now? Why she's still depressed? Why the illness is still there? Yeah. So this is what called perpetuate. Perpetuate what maintain the illness. Yeah? What make the recovery difficult. Okay, for example, like continuous social withdrawal, like what is written here. Okay, so, but however, if let's say to understand the etiology or the development of disorder, I would add on one more P actually, one more P. So it is not here, but I guess it's my own idea. The fourth P is protective. Okay, but this protective factor is something positive, not something negative. These three are, because to understand about disorder, sometimes you, let's say you look at someone more guy. Why the person seems to be okay, although the life is so difficult. They have all this, but the person remain composed, remain stable emotionally, because the person has the 4P that is protective. I'll give you an example. When we went to Aceh after the tsunami, people will expect that people over there would depressed, but eventually when we went there, they are strong. Why? To me, because of the presence of 4P that is protect them. What is the protective factor here? Is the religiosity, yeah, the Islamic value that they have. So that is the 4P, to understand why the illness is not developed. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Come back to our main business for today. The first part is a speech disorder. Okay. This is part of the mental state examination. Yeah, I think yesterday you have been exposed on the mental state examination. And I guess Dr. Nabil, if I'm not mistaken, has some kind of expose to you about certain terms to explain about abnormality in speech. Okay. First of all, you have to understand, you have to be familiar with these certain terms. Certain terms. Okay, first one is coherent, relevant, and rational. So you can write down your notes. Okay, coherent, it goes stage by stage. The first basic stage is coherent, followed by relevant and rational. Okay, coherent to make you understand about what does it mean by coherent. So okay, the normality here is the coherent. So the speech seems to be coherent, relevant, and rational. So that is normal aspect. But the abnormality, apa abnormality dia? It become incoherent, irrelevant. Yeah, okay. So irrational. So this is the term for abnormality. Yeah. So okay, I'll give you an example. One patient, the one doctor asked the student, where do you stay? And then the person answered, Shakayizu down. Do you understand that? Okay.
No.
So
No.
why you don't understand auto actually just one term? Because patient is talking about, this is what we call, kalau incoherent to one of the example is we call it neologism. Neo to means new. Neologism is a new term. Actually, the answer is patient. There is a meaning for the patient, but not to others. Okay. So this is the basic thing, which mean the terms with totally new or incomprehensible. That's what we call neologism. Incoherent. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you another example. What is irrational? Where do you stay? Same question, and then the patient answered, I feel hungry right now because I haven't had my breakfast. Okay, do you understand? You understand that actually the content, but it is not really answering the question. Yeah? The question is about place of stay. The question is talking about not having breakfast. So this is what irrelevant. Okay, what about irrational? Okay, okay. The same example. Where do you stay? And then the patient say that I'm staying under the sea. Yeah, the patient actually answered the question. But is it something logical? This is illogical, and so that's what we call irrational. So it has to be step by step. Maksudnya, if it is, there's no such thing, where there's no such thing, it is irrational, but you are saying that it is relevant and coherent. It doesn't make sense. Understand? It has to be step by step. Okay, this is what we call mainly the flow of thought or the content. However, in terms of speech, we are looking also, okay, hold on. This three usually happen in what type of this psychiatric disorder? Any guess?
Schizophrenia.
Yes, definitely, very good. Lagi?
Autism. Autism.
Very good, excellent. Especially neologism. Neologism is very much associated with autism. In fact, this is one of the MCQ. So we can list down all the symptoms. So, okay, now we also looking at the tone. Yeah, tone, of course, we have high, low. When we say low tone, which means it is very so-called very soft spoken, but I think soft spoken means different thing actually. It means polite. But the tone is low. In what condition is tone is low? Any guess?
When giving instruction.
No, I mean any psychiatric disorder. We are referring.
Depression.
Bagus. Kalau depression ni, you just ingat everything will be low. Everything will be low. Whereas on the other hand, on the other side, at the other pole, the mania. Okay, so that is the answer for mania. Tone and volume lah. Okay. Sometimes we also mention about monosyllabic answers. Okay. In what condition monosyllabic means? Where do you stay? Kuantan. What house? So, example, what house do you stay? So, sorry, house. Okay, the other person say that, with what type of house you are staying? Oh, I'm staying at the house nearby the coastal area is very nice. In the afternoon, the scenery seems to be very good. We enjoy it, blah, 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 blah. So that is not honestly, that is what talkative lah, I would say. What's the example of monosyllabic answer? What condition commonly happen? Cepat. Anyone?
Depression.
Okay, boleh. Betul. Lagi?
Dementia.
Dementia betul juga. Lagi?
Panic. Disorder.
Panic boleh, can, but usually we're talking about depression. Depression and also sebenarnya schizophrenia, understand? Schizophrenia. Tapi one another normal condition, I would say among the medical student juga. Okay, that's very common also. Monosyllabic answer. Sometimes medical student, okay, example lah. When I say that, what's the diagnosis? Diagnosis schizophrenia. Okay, why the reason why diagnosis schizophrenia? Because hallucination. Then, what do you mean by hallucinations? Why don't you say that? Okay, my diagnosis is schizophrenia based on the DSM-5 criteria. Under the DSM-5 criteria, it requires 3 out of 5. So in this case, patient has hallucination, delusion, therefore it is fulfilled. That kind of answer that we want from the students. Yeah. Okay. We are also talking about the rate. Yeah, rate here. So if let's say the way you look at my speech, what do you think? Is it fast? No stop in between, continuously. So I guess my rate is normal before you comment. Okay, but however, it's always in the with the two extreme side lah. Fast, of course, the other side is slow. Okay, I'm just here giving you the example of fast. Tapi kalau let's say the rate is low rate, then we are talking about example apa dia? Poverty of speech. Okay. Okay, this is the term that we should remember. Poverty means it's like poor, poverty of speech. Yeah? So depression, usually they have these features, poverty of speech and depression. I don't have to put here the example. Okay, however, on the other side, the fast. Okay, but in mind, you have to remember this term. What's the difference between talkative and pressured? Both are fast in terms of rate. Cuma bezanya apa dia?
Pressured dia ada urgency. Macam patient tu kena kejar something. So dia macam talk in very fast.
Thank you, Atira. What about talkative, Atira?
Non-stop, tak ada berhenti-berhenti.
Sounds macam so then what the different jawapannya adalah the difference between two. Okay, pressure.
I think the talkativeness, patient macam dalam keadaan yang high, very feel euphoria. But in the pressured speech, patient macam dalam keadaan ketakutan. So that's a bit different, I think.
Okay, thank you for the answer, for your try. I really appreciate it. The answer is pressure of speech is more severe. Okay, as compared to talkativeness. Okay, talkativeness ni, it is still fast, but it can happen among normal person also. Okay, some person they have the character of talkativeness, so this can be normal. Okay, when we say pressure of speech is totally abnormal. Yeah. Example, it should be in mania. Okay, when we say pressure. Okay, how to differentiate? Okay, our cutoff point or our guidance is when it is difficult to interrupt, then it is a pressure of speech. Yeah, pressure of speech. Yeah. It is rather difficult for me to give an example because I'm a normal person. So hopefully one day you will meet one manic patient, then you can see. Yeah, hopefully one of the. Okay, here we're talking about the flow of speech as well. Okay, here we are talking about the flow of speech. Okay. I give you an example. I give you an example. Okay, the same question I asked the patient. Where do you stay? I'm staying in Kuantan. The house that I'm staying here now is it's not my house. It is a rental house. The owner of this house is a very fussy makcik. She is really abusive sometimes. She is okay. Now she's talking about that makcik, and that makcik is staying in KL. So what does it mean? First, actually, the person is really answering the question, but eventually divert to other things. Yeah? And this is what we call the derailment. Derail from the terms of derail. So, okay, you understand that? You don't have to really remember the whole sentence. The idea open for further and further. Okay, derail. Just remember derail. The words of derail is explained. Okay, next is this is what we call circumstantiality. Okay, circumstantiality. The best word to describe is what we call beating around the bush. It's not really actually going to the topic, but it's just beating around the topic. Okay, example, let's say that example. Where do you stay? Okay, today I feel not very healthy. I feel tired, but because the weather in Kuantan is hot and dry, so I'm staying in Kuantan. Okay. Itu still okay juga. Tapi at the end it's not really answering sometimes. At least that example is eventually the person answer the question. Okay, faham eh? I hope my explanation is clear. We have another terms. This is what we call tangentiality. Tangential. Speech seems to be tangential. Sometimes we use this word, yeah? But however, if let's say you look at the example here, I think you'll be like referring to the derailment juga kan. Tapi tangentiality tu this is the example lah. By right, when you start here, it should finish here. But however, it would divert. So just I would say that just take it as derailment juga lah. It's a kind of similarity and the confused. Okay, this is the example given. Therapist asked, how do you feel? Then she replied that, well, when we spoke about this in the group yesterday, I feel angry. But what do you understand? Is it answering the question? It's partially answered, yeah, betul tak? It's partially answered. It's not really totally. This is not totally. This is what I call loosening of association. Okay, I think I missed this part. You know, when we talk about irrelevant, sometimes we are the way we explain it, the speech seems to be irrelevant. When we say irrelevant, actually we are talking about this term, loosening of association. So this is very common terms that we are using in psychiatry. Kalau somebody mentioned, okay, the speech seems to be having a loosening of association. Actually, we are talking about the irrelevant speech. Yeah. Okay, since I mentioned just now about loosening of association. Okay, so do you understand about this example? It's actually the person is talking about the topic, about the feeling, but she is talking about something else. related, slightly related to the topic. Okay, that's an example. Okay, here are the terms for something to do with the motor, not something to do with psychiatry, but more of probably in dementia, for example, like apraxia, dysarthria. This one, I think you'll learn this in neurology as well. This is something to do with articulation of speech, so something wrong with the brain. Okay, okay, let me skip this. Let me move on to the perceptual disturbance. Okay, the name, the general terms we are using is perceptual disturbance or perceptual disorder. Okay, when we say that perceptions, here it reminds me on the topic of science, which I taught my son yesterday. They learn about sensories, 5 sensories. So here we are talking about hallucination, the sensories. How many senses that we have? How many senses that we have?
5.
5.
Kalau I'm saying that, I think I have the 6th sense. Am I normal or not? Takut nak cakap saya tak normal. Tak apa, it's okay.
Tak normal.
Thank you, Sabah. Tapi kan, let me ask you lah. How do you know there is a God, there is Allah? Have you seen him?
No.
Then how do you know? Prove me there is a God.
That's a belief.
Yeah, it is belief. But every belief has to have the evidence. Okay, evidence based. Ataupun there is something very basic. I think there is the existing, that it is the God is exists. I have the feeling. I have a strong feeling. So I'm saying here that actually we have the 6th sense. Tapi of course in the textbook we don't mention it. But I think a normal human being should have the 6th sense. Okay, but it is in terms of acceptable senses, there are 5. Yeah. Okay, what is the definition of hallucination? Yeah, definition means, okay, you got to remember this by heart. Remember this. Where is the definition? This is not here. This is the whole definition. Very mouthful. Okay lah, never mind. I make it very simple. Very simplified words. Okay, what is hallucination? The perception means perception perceive without stimuli. It is there. Perception in the absence of stimuli. Okay, just remember this perception or perceive something without stimuli. This is important. Without stimuli, without. Yeah. What is the difference to understand what is hallucination? What's the difference with illusion? Anyone have read? If let's say I say that I have illusion, am I a normal person? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Why it is yes?
Because illusion, there is stimulus.
Yeah, very good, Atira. You are quite active. Yes, illusion. Illusion stimuli is there. Okay. So that's why in order to understand, macam kita understand sifat Allah, kan? Kita kena belajar yang di sebalik ni. then baru kita faham. So illusion is the stimuli is there, but so what is the abnormality? Tira? Okay, sorry.
Misinterpretation.
Yes, very good. The misinterpret. So why the person is having misinterpretation? Because it's influenced by the emotions. Yeah, the emotion. I give you an example. Let me talk about illusion first. When someone, going out from the house at night, the state of emotion is the person is really scared, very anxious, high level of anxious level, worry about the ghost, about the ghost, and then suddenly, there is a shadow or some kind of like a shadow of the banana leaf. Then the person said, this is a ghost. However, it is the stimuli there, but you misinterpret because of the emotional influence. Yeah? So this is illusion. The illusion can happen in normal person, but hallucinations, if someone had said that I'm having a hallucination, I'm saying that you're having a major psychiatric symptom, yeah, or serious psychiatric symptom. Why? Because it's under psychosis. As you mentioned, as you listen just now, it is under the symptom of psychosis. Yeah. So then I'm actually questioning what's the purpose of the rest of points. I also don't really understand. Okay, you don't have to remember this. This all 5 points here, just forget about it. All you got to remember is this one, yeah, this sentence. Yeah. Okay. Again, we are the same definition. Yeah. For sensory perception, no associated with real same thing. Okay. Before that, we have also, this is what we call, I'm rather disagree to say non-pathological, but I would say it is okay, non-pathological. Which is what we call pseudo hallucination. So when we say pseudo, it is not really, it is not a real hallucination. Yeah? Understand? Pseudo means pseudo, it is false hallucination, but it sounds like hallucination. Yeah? It sounds like, but it is not. Yeah? That's what is the meaning of pseudo. No, we have two conditions. So which means it can happen in normal person, understand? Because it's pseudo. It is not really a hallucination. Yeah? And the first example is what we call hypnagogic hypnopompic. This one is a common term. Just remember hypnagogic hypnopompic. Okay, hypnagogic means what? Hypnagogic is the person perceive the stimuli while falling asleep. And on the other hand, hypnopompic is waking up from the sleep. So it is very common experience by a normal person, especially those with anxiety or that. So there would some kind of like hearing someone's voice before falling asleep. Yeah, or sometimes we wake up, we we appear to be like hearing someone's voice as well, but this is, we are not considered as hallucination. Okay, understand? So if it is occurred at night, when about falling asleep or awakening from the sleep, so this is not hallucination. Okay, so as you understand, there are 5 sensories. Of course, the first common. Okay, the most common type of hallucination is what is it? The answer is second person auditory hallucination. Okay, second person auditory hallucination. So when the student or the trainee present what symptom that this patient has, commonly the student will answer, patient has hallucination. Then I follow up. I have the follow up questions. What type of hallucination? ahead of doing this. And the student, especially the postgraduate, we expect more than that. And the student say that patient has auditory hallucination. Then if he forced me to ask again, what type of auditory hallucination? Then barulah keluar, okay, I think secondary auditory hallucination. Up to the 3 stages that I got to ask them. Why don't you just tell me? It's a secondary auditory. What secondary? Should not be secondary. Second person. Second person. Dia tak ada second person. Third person. Okay, bukan secondary, you're confused. It's second person and third person. Okay, what is the definition? Okay, in psychiatry, we have 4 types of auditory hallucinations. Okay, can you write down 4 types? 4. There are 4. Okay, the most common is second person auditory hallucination. What is the definition of second person? The voice refer the patient as you. Okay, you. What does it mean? Okay, the voice say that you jump from the bridge, commanding in nature. So that's what we call second. But third person is when the patient become the third person. So which means there are 2 persons having conversation between them and refer the patient as he or she. Yeah. Okay, I give you an example. Patient is listening the voices talking among them, and the voices say that you look at him, he is useless. Then that is what we call it the person. Okay. Okay, let me move on to the. I think it's not here. I think it's not here. Let me move on to the third example. Third example is this is what we call running commentary. Running commentary. Okay, what is running commentary? Okay, never mind, it's okay. Let me move on to the third one, is what we call talk echo. Okay, talk echo. The name is the fourth one, it sounds talk. It should be talk, but actually it is not talk. It is an auditory hallucination. It's one of the example of auditory hallucinations. Okay. So what does it mean by talk echo? Echo lah, which means why this? Okay, I'll give an example. In my mind, I'm saying that why the student. Okay, what is running in my mind right now? I hope the student understand my lecture. Then suddenly, this is in my mind, the first one. Then suddenly I hear the voice using my ears. The same thing. Using my ears. This is what we call talk echo ataupun nama lain dia talk spoken loud. Maknanya it is from the mind and it is spoken loud. It's hear through the voice, through the ears. Talk spoken loud. Okay, so okay, what about running commentary? Running commentary, okay, running commentary. Okay, running commentary. It sounds like second person, tapi it is commenting on the patient's action. Running has to be in series. The word of running here is series. Series means dia bukannya now he is talking alone. Okay, sorry. Okay. Example. What now he is talking alone to the computer. Dah, to stop. That's not running commentary. That is a third person. Tapi running commentary means now he is talking. Now he's quiet. and now he's holding the mouse, and so it's in series, and okay, you know, so that's what we call running. Okay, paham any question?
Is it like monologue kind of thing? Like
Sorry,
monologue.
monologue. What is monologue? You understand?
Speaking to
Can you give an
themselves.
example?
It's like before I do this, and then the thing inside the mind check up. Okay.
But no. I think you missed the basic definition of hallucination. Okay, hallucination. Hallucination means what? It has to be perceived using the sensories. It is not the mind. This is not suara hati. It's not our heart feeling, or it's not our mind. This has to be through the sensories. You, this is auditory, so it has to be here through the ears. Okay, in the effort to clarify whether this is auditory hallucination or not, you should ask a few questions to the patient. Okay, faham tak? What is it? Number one, okay, soalan to be very much practical. When you want to hear, you want to ask any psychiatric disorder, okay, the first question you should ask, right, this is very general, very blanket question. You should ask, do you have any mind disturbance or not? Okay, that is very general. It can be hallucination, or it can be auditory, it can be visual, blah blah blah, and so on. But this cover the whole thing. Okay, this is the question that you can use you can practice. Do you have any mind disturbance? Okay, yes. Patient said yes. Okay, in what form? I hear the voices. Oh, you hear the voices. What did the voice told you? Okay, the voice told me I am not a good person. I'm no good. I'm useless. Okay, so when did you hear the voice? Or when was it, when you fully awake? Yes, when I was fully awake, I can hear that 3 times, 4 times a day, or the whole day. Then you can exclude lah. It is not during the sleep time. And then you should ask, how do you experience it? Was it through your ears? Yes, it's through my ears. Sometimes we up to the extent that right now you are listening to my voice. Is it exactly like this? Yes. This is what we call typical lah. I'm giving example of typical. So it's not from the heart, perasaan, hati, suara hati. It is not. Yeah. Okay. Do I answer your question?
Yes.
So here we are talking about the basic thing. Basic. Okay. Next, we're talking about visual. Visual, of course, is through eyes lah. Eyes. So what? So in clarifying or supporting your assessment, this is truly visual. Then usually the patient will tell you the image that he's seeing is vivid. So when we talk about auditory, visual, that all this image or the perception are clear, vivid. Yeah. Okay. So, however, when we talk about visual, now, actually, I missed one point here. You know, the second, sometimes why we concerned about the type of auditory, because second person has different value as compared to third person, and bear in mind these three, the last three are having special value in terms of diagnosis. Okay, you may be confused, but I will tell you later on. Because these three are, this is what we call Snyder rank, first rank symptom. When someone by the name of Snyder, from which country this person from?
Netherlands.
No. Bukan German. Bukan.
German.
Yeah, German. It should be German. So German people, they come out a lot of terms. Very. So this Snyder is a German psychiatrist that he said that, you know, all these symptoms, psychiatric symptoms, they are not the same. They have different value. And this Snyder coin, we rank them, we rank the list of symptoms that listed by Snyder, first rank and second rank. First rank too is high priority. Okay, high priority towards what? Towards schizophrenia, basically. That was Snyder tried to explain about schizophrenia. So here, the second person has the value for schizophrenia, but not that high value. Okay, do you understand? Because and then it is common also. Do you? I hope you understand. Okay, never mind. I will explain further. Okay. So visual. Okay. Just now, auditory usually we usually associate with schizophrenia commonly, ataupun drug-induced psychosis. Okay, just schizophrenia. Just forget about alcohol. But for visual, when someone having visual, yes, in schizophrenia it can happen, but when someone having visual, we have the tendency more towards the organic. Yeah, organic means what? It is not really schizophrenia, I would say. What kind of organic? For example, like temporal lobe, epilepsy, or for example, like brain tumor and so on, ataupun substance. Yeah, substance also they can present with visual, commonly present. But I'm not saying that in schizophrenia it cannot happen for visual. So we have olfactory, gustatory. These are the less common hallucination. Of course, we have tactile, and also the somatic. Somatic means something to do with the body. Some patient would say that I think I lost my heart. My chest is hollow. Nothing is there. No organ. So that kind of what we call the. But this is the feeling I can sense. This is empty inside me. So that's what called somatic hallucination. Tactile is tactile. Tactile means through the skin. Okay, this one you just forget lah. This one is I don't want to confuse you. Yes, this part is important, more congruent hallucination, more incongruent. But I think this is not for the basic. Yeah, not for the basic introduction to psychiatry. Yeah. I just skip this. Yeah. I would like to move on to the delusion. Delusion, what is delusion? Delusion is the thought or the belief. The belief. Yeah. So just remember, it's just a belief. What is it? It is a belief. Yeah, it is a belief. Yeah. So what is the definition of delusion? Let me just simplify the definition. Okay. It is false belief. Okay, first one is false belief. So this is the first term. Oh, sorry. Jawapannya adalah fixed. Dah, full stop. Fixed false belief. Simple. Just 3 words. Explain. Explain 90% of the whole definition. So another 10% ni, apa dia 10%? This still adequate sebenarnya. If let's say you answer this kind of answer, the percentage ni. Okay, if let's say you answer fixed false belief, okay, you got 90% already marked. Fixed. It is fixed. It has to be fixed. Yeah. Each of 3 words has the meaning. It is fixed. So that's why we call it unshakable. Mana unshakable? Okay, unshakable. It is fixed. And it is not true. It is not true. Yeah. And it is a belief, in the form of belief. But what's the remaining of 10%? Okay, I give you an example. We have a multi-ethnicity. Malaysian is a multi-ethnicity, multi-racial, multi-religiosity. And your Hindu's friend saying that they have 10 deities. And 10 deities.
Yeah, for them. Or probably 3 lah, apa? Okay, whatever it is. So, but it is not in line with our belief. We say that we have only one God. Monotheism. We practice monotheism. So can we say that they are okay? This is one example. Can we say that they are having delusion? Okay, I give you another example. You know our apa tu, our older generation, they have that kind of dia orang panggil apa yang I ingat sekarang ni come across my mind tu, dia kata apa? Jangan menyanyi masa masak, nanti dapat laki tua. So kita cakap apa benda kepercayaan kan? Ini delusion ni makcik, nenek saya ni delusion. Kena jumpa Dr. Ramli refer. So this is not, because the 10% is followed by the not in line with traditional or religious background. You have to have this kind of sentence. The follow-up sentence lah, I would say, is not in line with the patient's traditional or religious belief. Yeah. Okay, faham tak? Faham? Okay. Thank you very much. So, okay, delusion ni, macam mana nak cuba? Actually, this not
I got question, bro.
Oh, silakan. Okay,
Kan tadi kan yang fixed false belief tu kan, ada kawan tanya lah, ni kalau maybe tak appropriate. So kalau for yang false tu, bahagian false tu, what if yang katakan apa, orang orang kafir tu macam mana tu? Is it they are delusion tu? Macam tu dah. Faham ke?
So maksudnya tak faham.
Macam ni contoh kan, katakan kalau saya nak berkata daripada aspek religion kan. So ada yang religion cakap, this religion is true, this religion is false, something like that. So katakan in Islamic perspective, kan. So orang lain tu delusion lah, betul tak?
Tak boleh. That's why I'm saying that. Yang tu lah, yang ni nak fulfill this one. Not in line. Dia mesti not in line. Macam, do you understand? No? It is not fair to say that it is a delusion lah, because it is in line with their belief. So it's not fulfill this part. Because it's not fulfill this part, then we cannot say it is delusion. Yeah, here we are talking about the medical argument. We are not talking about religious argument. Yeah, religious argument is different. Yeah, you can fight, you can show that video that is religious argument, but this is medical argument. Boleh? Okay.
Boleh faham. Thank you.
So okay, satu it is missing here, but I think I really want to, when we apa tu classify the delusion ni, macam mana ya? They classify the delusion kat mana? Should be, I think should be here lah. I want to add something here. Types ataupun types of delusion. Yeah, delusion also have a few types. How we classify? How do we classify delusion? Dia ada dua. One is the originality. The originality of delusion. Okay, apa maksud dia? The originality, dia ada dua lah. Number one is a primary delusion. And of course, number two is a secondary delusion. Okay, we have primary delusion, we have secondary delusion. Okay, the way number two, how we classify delusion is according to the themes of delusion. Themes, yeah. Okay, probably you don't really understand, but okay, originality itu means, okay, I give you an example. Patient keep on keep on having the keep on experiencing the second person of the hallucination. The voices say that you are useless, you are useless, you are no good, you are not good at nothing. So first the experience hallucination, then eventually he believe, yes, I'm no good. Ataupun another example lah, dia kata, Ramli, you know there's someone, one of your student has the bad intention towards you, that this student is going to kill you. Then I start to believe, I start to say that, yeah, I believe that one of my students are having bad intention. I strongly believe, but it is not true. It is not true, man. All of you are good. So it's not true. Then I say that who is this student? I'm going to look for this student. Now, from the hallucination, I start to believe it. Yeah, and it is fulfilled, the delusion, because it's not true. It is, I strongly believe I want to find it. So maknanya we followed by the actions. So the action shows that the belief is firm. Can, okay, so it's fulfilled. And this is what we call secondary delusion, because it's start off with the hallucination. So primary delusion is out of blues, all of sudden, patients start to believe without anything that trigger. So this is what we call primary delusion. So how do we classify delusions? It's based on the originality. Yeah, can. Because it has something to do with the diagnosis jugalah. Sebab selalunya primary delusion is schizophrenia. Secondary, very common. So it has no diagnostic value. Yeah. Okay, what about the theme? The theme ni, this is what I'm referring just now lah. Okay, I believe that someone has implanted a chip in my mind, in my brain, and control me. That sounds very weird, kan? Very weird belief. And this is what we call bizarre delusion. No? This theme, we are using it last time. No? Last time we are using this term, but still very much relevant. Okay, I reserve the systemized delusion. This is okay. That's really difficult to understand. But another example is what we call nihilistic delusion. Okay, what is nihilistic delusion? Is the false belief that something negative in general, negative about the person's self-image lah. For example, like I think I'm no good because my chest is hollow. Chest is hollow. So that sounds very much nihilistic. I think I am really useless person. I'm really no good to anybody. So that is what we call nihilistic. So nihilistic delusion, if let's say you look at the nature too is actually is more for depression, major depression. Okay, the team sometimes would tell you what kind of diagnosis. So nihilistic usually common happen in the major depression. Sama juga delusion of poverty. This is also in major depression. Okay. Okay, I want to show you a paranoid delusion. Is it here? Ada. Okay, paranoid delusion. If let's say you ask me among all types of delusion, paranoid is the most common one. Okay. Just now, let me repeat, among all types of hallucination, second person auditory hallucination is the most common one. Okay, so maksudnya I'm telling you here why, because in exam, focus on the most common one. Focus on the most common one, yeah, faham tak? So we have schizophrenia, okay, you want to elicit whether the patient having delusion or not, usually we can ask paranoid delusion. Okay, so maksudnya apa? Dia what question you can ask. Usually we use this kind of question lah. Do you think that somebody has any bad intention toward you? Okay, so this kind of question. Ataupun ni bahasa, ada tak awak rasa ada orang mau buat tak baik pada awak? Atau ada niat tak baik? Okay, boleh ya? Okay, we have also, okay, this is what called delusion of persecution. Kita ada juga grandiose delusion. Grandiose ni dalam schizophrenia. For example, like I'm saying that, okay, I think I'm going to be the next prime minister soon because I have the number. Is that a delusion? Can be true, but still haven't happened. So, or can we say that there's a delusion? Bit tricky. Okay, I give you an example, the very clear one. I am the Sultan of Malacca right now. People should respect me. Senang-senang je kata this is delusion, because there's ataupun okay, I give you an example, very interesting example. You know, the last time we have one bipolar patient. Okay, grandiose ni usually happen in bipolar. You know, I give you one example, very interesting example. We have one patient admitted for bipolar, and then he was saying that I'm the son of the current Menteri Besar of Selangor during that I was in HKL at that time. And we say that, oh, this person is having the grandiose delusion. And we write down, patient is having grandiose delusion. Okay. So, you know what happened the next morning? We saw this Menteri Besar came into the ward. And we asked, what's the purpose of this Menteri Besar coming to the ward? And then he's saying that I want to visit my sons. So what does it mean? It is not a grandiose delusion, exactly. It's just coincidence happened. Understand? So I'm saying here, I think you're getting worried lah. You're getting bored. Okay, I'm saying here, apa tu bizarre delusion ni? Mana bizarre? Okay, bizarre delusion. Bizarre delusion means what? Bizarre delusion means you don't have to clarify the belief. Okay, for example, like what? I believe someone has implanted a chip in my brain. Okay, and then the chip is now controlling me. Okay, tak apa, I'll give you another example. I believe that I was born as a frog before. Then I become a human being. Do you think you want to talk to clarify with the patient's mother? And then you ask this makcik, dulu ni betul ke ni dia lahir sebagai katak? Then makcik will look at you and then makcik that, am I talking to a doctor or to a patient? Kan? So the answer is bizarre delusion. Janganlah clarify. Don't verify it. Don't try to get the collateral history and verify that delusion. It sounds weird totally. Yeah. The bizarre means totally weird. Please don't clarify. Tapi the other diagnosis, the other delusion, it can be true. You have to verify it. Okay, I've given to you the example of grandiose just now, and it turned out to be, it is not a delusion. I give you another example. Patient he said that to the treating doctor, someone who like to kill me, with a gun. And then we say, this patient is having paranoid delusions. And then one day, patient said that, no, I don't believe anymore. And then we discharge the patient. And the next morning, we hear the news, he been shot by a gangster because he's borrow money from Along. Rupanya that is not a psychiatry delusion. So you got to clarify. Okay, understand? Okay, then we have also delusion of reference. That reference means okay, I give you example. I saw the movie in the, I saw a movie in the TV, that movie actually referring to me. Oh, so that's what I call the delusion of reference.
Doktor
Oh,
nak tanya,
boleh.
macam bila cakap pasal delusion ni kan kita kena ada proof kan.
Correct.
Satu, macam mana doktor proofkan yang macam tadi lah, macam doktor cakap tu, yang bila kita tanya dia jawab tu, oh tu sebenarnya apa, fakta, memang betul. Tu satu. Yang kedua kan, dalam kisah nihilistic delusion dengan delusion of poverty, bila orang tu rasa dia apa, dia tak bagus dan sebagainya. Macam mana? Ada buktian ke tu?
Okay, dia kadang-kadang rasa tak bagus tu, sometimes we have various ways lah to clarify that. Number one, you have to test the firmness of belief. Okay, in our assessment, you need to assess the firmness because you need to fulfill this all criteria. Fixed, it has to be fixed. For example, sometimes we challenge the belief. Okay. Number one, challenging. Number two is you look at the nature of the belief juga. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you an example. Sometimes in interview technique, we do challenge. For example, I do challenge to my patient, for example. Of course, when you want to challenge, you got to be careful also. Some patients, they are irritable. For example, schizophrenia, they strongly believe, then suddenly someone is challenging the belief. So you got to be use certain words lah. Okay, example that I use to test the firmness atau because it has to be fixed. That's now definition: fixed, false, unshakable. So I asked it, what if it is not true? What's the evidence? So that's one example. Do you understand? Okay, I'll give you an example. One patient said that I strongly believe. The words of strongly to is indicate. Or sometimes the patient will not say that lah. Kalau let's say patient have strongly voluntarily saying that strongly, or you should be really careful lah. But sometimes patient would say that I believe that the whole kampung would like to kill me. Okay, kalau you let's say that his person is using the whole orang kampung tu tak betul lah. Takkanlah ada satu kampung semua jahat. Okay, I don't clarify. I don't go to meet the villagers asking one person to another. No, that is not my job lah. I would say that this is definitely a paranoid delusion. Okay, it can be like, okay, I believe that my next door neighbor is having bad intention towards me. Yeah, it may be true. Yeah. So then you should clarify in what way they would like to harm you. Or they kata by having bad mouthing. Bad mouthing tu common lah in our society. Tapi I give you example. Oh, they want to, bad intention, they want to put the CCTV in my room to monitor me. That sounds to you not true kan? Mana ada orang install the CCTV to other person's house? Ataupun dia kata putting the satellite, this CCTV will transmit the signal to the satellite and the satellite. That you don't have to clarify lah, I would say. So you have to look at you can challenge that lah. I think it doesn't make sense. What do you think? Doktor, you should come to my house and tu nak menunjukkan kita challenge lah. That shows that patient is a strongly believe. Okay, boleh? I hope I answer that. Okay, we have also, this is part very important, delusion of control. Delusion of control ni you have to understand. It's almost, almost 2 hours. Delusion of control is referring to the Snyder-Rand first-rank symptom. What is the example? Okay, delusion of control means I believe that my thought has been withdrawn. Okay, dia boleh thought withdrawal, thought insertion, and thought broadcasting. Okay, what does it mean? My mind suddenly blank because there is a power, external power, take out my mind. Then my mind become blank. So this is what we call thought withdrawal. Kita ada juga thought insertion. which means other thoughts, other people's thought being implanted in my brain, in my skull, and that thought control me. There are the meaning behind it. And this is what we call thought, delusion of control. And we also thought broadcasting. Thought broadcasting means other people can hear, can read my mind because it has been transmitted out. It has been broadcasted out. Okay? I hope you understand. Boleh, eh? So when a patient having these symptoms, this is very much suggestive of schizophrenia. Yeah, because in other psychiatric disorder, it is rarely happen. Okay, something very interesting here. Delusion of infidelity. What is delusion of infidelity? I want to tell you here beforehand something very interesting. What is delusion of infidelity? The person believes that his or her spouse is having an affair or having another unfaithful or being unfaithful with another person. So this is what we call delusion of infidelity. It's very common happen. Yeah. In what condition do you think? What condition? Sorry. What condition of what diagnosis having anybody? But delusion of infidelity. Of course, schizophrenia definitely that would be the answer. Tapi in other than schizophrenia, what is the diagnosis commonly happen having a delusion of infidelity? Apa dia?
Anxiety.
Tadi dah cakap dah what first ni. My first slide, my first part of I'm saying that psychosis does not happen in anxiety. Awak ada kan? Awal-awal tadi tu.
Ada.
Apa ni jawab anxiety pula ni? Jawapannya lain benda lah. Tak tembak lain, tempat lain. Jawapannya adalah dementia. Okay, very common. What about erotomanic delusion? Okay, erotomanic is when someone with the higher status fall in love with the person, with the patient. It has to be the higher status. Apa dia? For example, like I feel that Nilofa is falling in love with me, but unfortunately she's now married. She's now the kayangan person. I'm nobody. Okay, so that's example lah. Okay. You should be familiar with this Snyder first term, yeah. Okay, you have to remember. I'm trying to make your life easy. They are together 11. So how to remember it? This is what we call chunking. Chunking to you lump together. Okay, we have 3 hallucination, 3 make phenomenon, 3 thoughts. 3 or the 9. 9 plus 2. Yeah. Okay, what are they? As I told you just now, there are 4 types of hallucination. Just exclude the second person. Full stop. Then the rest are all Snyderite. Okay, what is a make phenomena? Is a make action. Make action is more of, this is what we call very much the passivity phenomena. Passive. Passivity phenomena. Passivity phenomena. Okay, example apa dia? Emotion. Dia ada make action, make impulse and make feeling. Maksud dia apa dia? When I kick the door, that's not my action actually. Someone control me. This is what we call make action. Make feeling dia apa dia? I have the feeling, empty feeling, but I think it's not my feeling, it's someone else's feeling. This is what we call the passivity phenomena. The person is passive. Okay, we have also the thought possession yang just now lah. Yeah, the thoughts just now. Thought withdrawal, thought session, thought processing. So done already, 9. And we have the, okay, there is a term, we call it somatic passivity phenomena. This is actually referring to this. Yeah, same thing sebenarnya. Tapi this is general. To this Do you understand? The example of passivity phenomena are this, yeah, this one. Okay, and eventually we have delusional perception. Delusional perception. What is delusional perception? I think you go back and read out lah, boleh? Can you go back and read out? Okay, tak apalah, it's okay. What is delusional perception? The first point is normal perception, but it is being interpreted wrongly. Okay, what does it mean? I'll give you an example. Okay, I give you an example. When okay, I think I stop sharing here. That's it, finish. So let me give you an example. When I look at this pen, this ruler is red in color. When the ruler is red color means I strongly believe that the world is going to end by today. Yeah, okay. That's one example. Do you think is it normal or abnormal?
Abnormal.
Abnormal can must be abnormal lah. Tapi kalau let's say when I come back from my work, come back home, when I look at my door, is now ajar means open a little bit. Ataupun the window is open a little bit. I believe someone has entered my house. Is that normal or abnormal?
Normal.
Normal. So what make the two are different? Sebab
Possibility for the second scenario to happen.
Okay.
The
So
correlation.
Ya. Dia macam ni. So kalau you tengok ayat tadi tu, nak share balik ayat tadi yang first tu kata apa? The normal perception. Perception is normal, perceive normally. Tapi dia interpret. Okay, never mind, I'll just come back to the slides. Okay, just now. But it interpret wrongly. Tapi dia ada satu follow up sentence. Dia kata interpret wrongly with ni ayat ni. With, sorry, I want to make it bold. With no logical connection. Okay, no logical connection. It has to be with no logical connection. Faham tak maksud dia? Maksudnya, how come actually this pen is red color, then you are saying that the world now is going to be a doomsday soon. There's no logical connection at all. Kan? So that is what we call delusional perception. Okay, this delusional perception ni is one of our favorite scenario, favorite question in exam. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting tired. So, any question?
Kita nak tanya, for auditory hallucination, kalau contoh like dia hear more than one voices, like 3 voices lah for example, but the voices is not talking to each other but only talking to the patient itself. Is that second person or third person?
Very good question. I really appreciate that question. Some students, or most even the postgraduate trainee, they would jump into the conclusion straight away. When it is more than one voices, then they say, okay, this is third person, must be third person. No, this is not. The question that you pose just now is very much relevant. If let's say you have, for example, 3 person, A, B, and C. But this A, B, and C are all talking to the patient. B reflecting at you, why you are doing this? A say that, hey, you should do this way. And C said that no, you should not do anything. So this example, patient still having second person auditory hallucination, although there are three voices, because all these three are referring or talking to the patients. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good question. Any other question? Tak ada? Tired? Okay, so inshallah, my group we have another session this afternoon. So we can actually have one video to show. So then hopefully we can practice lah. We can practice applying our knowledge. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Salam.
Thank you, Prof.
Salam. Thank you, Prof.
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 Thank you, Prof.